Elton Castee. Sir, welcome to the egg carton blue shrine that we have here in the back in Hollywood. How you feeling, brother?
I'm scared.
Yeah.
It's a great way to kill someone.
This is like the type of room that you would see in the beginning of a horror movie that they go in and say, oh yeah, it's not that bad. And then later, it was that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This honestly is the scene from a really shitty Hollywood screenplay where it's like music producer kills his victims.
We are 2 days from the Fun in Life. We have the voting still open for the Shorty Awards at this point. And you've been a busy man these last couple of days. Tell me what the last 24 to 48 hours have looked like for you.
Last 24, 48 hours, I was at my first, not first wedding, like my first big wedding. So just a ton of people in a snowed-in cabin, 4 feet of snow.
So you weren't in LA?
No. I was literally my girlfriend's, like one of my girlfriend's best friends. She was a bridesmaid. So I went to a wedding with her. Literally, like everyone got snowed in. No one could walk. No cars could leave. Just literally having a nice little break. Fun breeding ground for stand-up material, though. Oh,
I would imagine. And you got some stand-up coming up. Go ahead and plug that. Where are we going to see you soon?
3 confirmed shows right now. I have Brea Improv March 12th, and then I'm in New Mexico. Don't remember where. I'm in New Mexico on the 15th and 16th. That's all I have like confirmed right now.
And you're bringing the fun to life.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, the Fun in Life is going to be coming up within the next 48 hours. It's going to be dropping tomorrow. Well, this is the magic of YouTube. This is actually recorded the evening before. However, 48 hours from now, when you see this, when it's been released, the new music video is going to be coming out. And you've been a busy man on Twitter with this new video coming out.
Yeah, we've delayed it twice now by a week each time. Just trying to like really make sure it's the best it can be. There was a significant amount of work. I think we calculated it in at like 400 man hours across like all of the people that had to help for like the month of preparation, and like Guinness World Records being involved, like 12 of the best BMX riders in the world. We had 1,000 people attend. I spent $20,000 on dinosaur costumes. Like there was a lot of work went into that. On top of that, we have like an animator who's like, I've been driving nuts, like literally like second by second, making her like do little changes. So I'm trying to make sure this is like the best it possibly can be, considering like one of the singers in the song is from my favorite childhood band. So the singer Simple Plan is literally on this song.
Yeah, tell me about that, because there's always something really special about when you meet somebody that you had watched growing up, you know, and then when you see them in real life, it's almost like they're not a real person at first, because it's like a poster just came to life right in front of you. What was the experience like for you first seeing that guy in real life?
Yeah, I mean, I was on Warped Tour all summer. My clothing company was on it. We were just on the whole tour. And progressively, we kind of just spread the message on tour. Like, if you're in a band or if you're part of the tour, crew, whatever it might be, you can come get free gear from us. Like, we just wanted to, like, we know how hard it is to do laundry on the tour. We want to kind of support everyone. And throughout the tour, like, different guy, like Sebastian would come by and grab some gear, and then Chuck came by, and then eventually, like, Pierre came by and grabbed gear. And I'd never met them because they were always coming while I was doing something else. And, like, just gradually throughout tour, they were just the nicest guys all summer. And I remember I was too afraid to ask Pierre in person if I could sing I'm Just a Kid on stage with them, because they always have to bring like guest vocalists on stage. So I literally did the millennial thing and I DM'd him, even though I knew what bus number he was and where it was parked. I was just too afraid to ask. And he was like, yeah, sure.
That's
like
awesome.
They were just super nice, and he literally let me like sing I'm Just a Kid on stage with them in Orlando in front of like probably 12,000 people.
That is such an amazing moment.
Yeah, and then when tour was over, I just sent him another DM and I was like, hey man, you want to listen to this song and maybe sing on it?
Yeah.
And then they were like, yeah, it's a good song.
You know, it's so amazing that, and when you meet these people, it's so amazing how average guy they are. You know, so many of these people are so down to earth. Your life, you do a lot of experiences that are so far from average. Is that going to be one of the ones that really stand out from you, that moment when you got to go on stage like that?
Yeah, I mean, that's probably the coolest thing I've ever done. You know what I mean? Like, I've done stand-up and I've done plays and I've done all these things, but like being on stage and just literally seeing 10 to 12,000 people singing every single word of a song is like the most surreal feeling, because you know that's only like 1/1,000,000% of the people that actually know your song. So it's a really bizarre thing to like realize that you can just take an idea in your head, lyrics, put it on a song, and then just people around the world just know and live and breathe that. So it was really cool motivation. Like that was like the moment where I was like, all right, when I get home, I'm actually going to start writing music.
For a lot of people out there, you and your friends are these rock stars. When they see you, when they watch you on YouTube each and every week, when they used to watch you on Vine, is that a surreal feeling to know that that same sort of admiration that you had for rock stars, these kids now have for you? It's a completely new type of generation.
Yeah, it's weird because like you get the highs and the lows of it. Like it's really nice when people like come up to you and they're like, hey, I really like, I watch your videos, I love what you do, like I really appreciate it. I'm like always like super grateful. And it's like, it's really cool to see that, especially when you do like meet and greets that are like organized and you see like how many people like came to come see you. But then you also get the other end of it where like you have like 40 people outside your hotel all night like waiting for you to leave. So it's a really weird thing to me because like from my perspective, I'm just some dude with a camera that hits an upload button. Yet there's like people that are like literally like when we were in Australia, people would fly across the entire country and just like wait outside our hotel for the chance to meet us. In my perspective, I'm like, that doesn't, like, I'm not that cool. So it's like, it's really weird. Like there's like the highs and the lows because like you don't want to be like mean to the fans, but at the same time, it's like, I'm not trying to take pictures right now. Like I just want to go get dinner. But yeah, it's really bizarre. I never thought I would be where I am, and I don't really still fully understand it.
Well, you know what? I think that where you are and how far you've come is really just a story that a lot of people should be able to relate to. You know, the grind, the hustle, trying to make it. And hearing you share your story, obviously, if you haven't seen the YouTube video yet, go check it out. I'll link it in the description below, where you describe your journey of going from homeless to being on YouTube and making a very, you know, a comfortable living and have a good life for yourself. Talk to me about that journey and just words of wisdom you might have for people out there that are watching this that are still in that struggle at this point, and that, you know, how you kept going through it, what kept you going.
I think the main thing for me was like I always found a way to kind of have financial security first. Like I know like, okay, you can pursue your dreams all you want, but if you don't have the way to feed yourself, then like your dreams are dead because you're gonna die. So like I always found some way to like make money, find some job, if it was 2 jobs or 3 jobs at once. Like there was a point in time where like I was restoring old Mustang. Like I would buy a Mustang off Craigslist for like $3,000 and I would restore it for like $200 in parts and sell it for like $4,500. And I would do that like once a week. So I was like making like $1,000 a week doing that while I was also selling like neon signs. So I found some warehouse that was like going out of business. And they were like, yeah, you can take our neon signs for $30. And I was like, cool, some of these are worth like 300, 400, 500.
And some of those ended up getting left at a house, right? That you guys ended up getting, had to leave, correctly? Is that correct?
We brought all the neons with us. We definitely took all those neons with us. Scotty has some of them today. Heath has some of them today. Everyone kind of has like a parting gift. But yeah, it was always just finding ways to just like kind of make money. That way I could have the time and the comfort to be able to like pursue creatively. I mean, Vine was like the luckiest thing to ever happen. Like, it doesn't take that long to make a Vine. You know what I mean? Like, literally, it takes 6 seconds to make a good Vine if you do it right the first time. So, having that ability to like find something where I could still work 60 hours a week and then still make content for a platform that didn't take 60 hours a week to also do was like the most fortunate thing that ever happened.
And I think you mentioned the how fortunate that was. Didn't it start off as a bet for some hockey tickets to get that growth going? Tell me about that.
Yeah, me and Waleed Muhammad, we were like walking to a hockey game that we were already going to, and we like jokingly made a bet about like first one to get to 10,000 followers has to buy the other one playoff hockey tickets. And like neither of us thought it was gonna happen. Like we were just like whatever. Like by the time it happens, it'll be like hockey season's over, playoffs are done. And then I think I hit it in like 6 days and he hit it in 8. Like we were like that fast. And then once we realized like, oh wow, like let's just keep going. And then it's really cool. Like when you first start a social media platform, like I've never cared about it.
Right.
And then just saying like, I'd wake up in the morning with like another 4,000, another 5,000, another, like you just keep waking up and back.
I can't quite relate to that yet, but eventually I'll be able to say, yeah, I remember that I woke up with that 4,000 followers.
Yeah. My first like viral Vine, I remember it getting 100 likes in an hour. And I was like, holy shit. And then it went on the popular page and got 600 likes in an hour. And I was like, this is nuts. But now, like, if I post, like, a picture and it doesn't get, like, 600 likes in 30 seconds, I'm like, guess I look like shit today. Like, it's such a weird contrast.
Yeah. When that first started happening, what was the thought like back home? Or, because I mean, obviously people are thinking, okay, you have to get a job, you have to go get that 9 to 5. But when you're finding this amount of success on Vine and you're finding this amount of success on social media, did they understand it? I mean, probably you guys didn't understand it at that point. I would imagine the growth that it would grow into.
Yeah, no, I don't think any of us did. When you say back home, you mean like my parents?
Yeah, whoever was back home that you would talk to, did they understand?
Yeah, I mean, my mom was always supportive, and my dad just didn't get it, like, at all. My dad didn't really understand, like, what 1 million followers was until he finally took me to the Grammys, and, like, literally getting stopped on the way into the Grammys by people that are like, oh, wait, like, all that was happening, and then, like, I did, like, the red carpet, and, like, people on the red carpet, like, knew who I was, like, and then my dad was like, okay, this is like a real thing. And I'm like, yeah, yes. Literally, I have 1 billion loops. Like, it's like 1 billion people, or not 1 billion people, but like my videos have been seen 1 billion times.
Right.
Like, it's a real. So he finally got it then. And he's always been supportive, but he didn't really click with him till then, like what it really meant.
What did that mean to you to have that moment with your dad at the Grammys? I mean, that's something that is very, very rare. Not a lot of people get to go to the Grammys in general, but to be able to share that moment with your father and be able to have him understand what was going on at that moment. How'd that feel?
I mean, he didn't even tell me that, like, that was when it clicked until I think, like, days later. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't, like, have a moment, like, right then and there where he was like, oh, I get what you do now. Like, it was, like, days later when he was like, oh, like, you're on Getty Images. Like, people are still talking about you, because I was being compared to, like, Pharrell Williams, got weird shaped legs and shit like that. So, like, my dad's been in the music industry. That was the first time he brought me to the Grammys, which was really cool. I don't think there was like a particular moment, because I more so remember harassing celebrities. Because I think MTV put me in their booth and was just letting me scream at like Sam Smith and Ed Sheeran and like Katie. They were just like, yeah, do whatever you want, we don't care. Like, so I had full access to just holler at any celebrity I wanted.
I want to find out if you have a moment similar to this. So when I was covering the Cavaliers in the finals, there was a moment where I was standing next to Ben Simmons, who was about to be one of the top draft picks in the NBA, and we all got pushed to the side, which never happens in the media tunnel because everybody's just sort of interacting. We all got pushed to the side. Ben Simmons got pushed aside, and then Beyonce and Jay-Z walked by. I was like, okay, that's why we all got pushed aside, because they are on a different level. Have you ever had that moment where you're just like, okay, these people are on some sort of level?
No, I don't. I just don't think I care.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I've never been like super fascinated about like the celebrity thing. Like, I don't necessarily care about like getting a picture. Like, sometimes there's like people where I meet where I just want to be like, hey, I like your work, cool, bye. Like, I was literally at like a party with Shawn Mendes, like right before the Grammys, and he was just standing next to me, and I didn't want like a picture. I just wanted to be like, yo, dude, it's cool to see like you came from Vine like I did, and like it's fucking sweet to see like how far you made it. Yeah. Like, so I don't know. I don't ever really get like that. Oh, you're better than me, because they're not. Right. Like, yeah, the people are more skilled, sure, but that doesn't make them like better or like cooler. I don't know. Do you feel like a fellowship with the other people that got got their start on Vine, the Shawn Mendes's, a lot of your friends? Do you feel like there's a camaraderie with a lot of you that came up the same sort of way? I think there's a bit of nostalgia there, but I don't think there's any camaraderie. Like, if I saw like another person who was really big on Vine, I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, come work with me, because I don't care about your work ethic in the past. Like, I care about people that are still pursuing it to this day. So my camaraderie is only with the people who are still actively working every single day. I think it's cool to be like, oh, nice, like, you were on Vine too. That was a fun time, right? But I'm not like, oh, you're my Vine. It's not like, I don't feel like a war veteran who was like, oh, we served in the Vine war together. It's a different feeling to me. So, yeah. On YouTube recently, you guys put up the Goodbye for Now video. I want to ask you what that moment was like when you finally hit record and you guys walked away from that. Maybe the last time that you guys all four sit together in front of a camera for that particular purpose. What was it like when you guys walked away from that? Well, we had to do that twice because my card filled up and I didn't know. I thought I would switch my card over because I got 2 slots in it. We did the whole thing, and then I was like, it only recorded 45 seconds. So we hit record and redid it again, which was like slightly less organic, but people watching probably can't tell. I don't know, it's something we'd like talked about for a while, that like that Australia trip was going to be like the last like vloggy trip. We went into it ahead of time. Like, me and the boys have always been kind of like clear with like what I'm trying to do or what we think might work, or we like had the discussion like, they have their own things that they want to pursue. So like I knew like that kind of travel TFIL thing doesn't really work when like you have all these different people that are trying to pursue their own different avenues. I don't know. I don't think that was like a well executed video. Like my audio was pretty trash. Like that was my first YouTube video to ever hit trending, and I don't know why, and I wish it didn't, because anyone who watched that was like very confused as to what the hell we even do, and like my video and audio quality was bad. So I don't know. That video was just like whatever to me. Like I didn't execute it properly. We were like about to miss our flight, and it was just like, shit, we got to record this.
That's so strange for me to hear, that a video like that you would look back on and say, oh, well, I should have done this better. I should have done that. It's almost like coming from the sports world, an NBA player where, you know, they could have 40 points and they'll look back and be like, oh, yeah, but I should have done this. Or a hockey player saying, I should have made this pass. Is that something that you do where you look back on a lot of the technical things, the small things?
Yeah, I drive people insane. Like, that's why, like, it's so hard for people to work with me and me to work with other people, because I will literally find the smallest imperfection, and it's easier for me just to do it myself than to like sit there and like have someone else like color. Literally, like this music video has been like, that's been the delay. There's like all these little changes because I see like all the little things. Like I'll see like the mouth is barely off. So yeah, I'm always looking at other things that I think are wrong. Like, but I learned, like I drill them into my head so I don't make the mistake again. Like now I know not to record a goodbye video with the crashing waves audio overpowering us for the entire, like I know that now. Like I'm never gonna make that mistake again. Like it's like my worst trait, but also my best trait, because that's why every video I do gets better. Like I learn from every mistake, so that way like each time I'm improving. Yeah.
You talk about the nostalgia a little bit of Vine. Has the nostalgia hit you yet for those videos with this crew?
No, because they're still really good friends of mine, and like we still have, like, I just filmed a different video with like Sam and Colby the other day, and like I'm still gonna see they're actually moving closer to me. Like we're probably gonna be like hang out more now that they're living like literally 6 miles closer. I don't know. Like the one cool thing to me is that like I'll be able to look back on these in like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Like they'll literally still be there. Like when I have kids or grandkids that I can watch them. I think I'm just so heavily focused on like what is coming up that I'm not really like, oh man, those were good times. Yeah, like we have it, but it's not like I don't dwell on it. Like I'm like stoked that we had that opportunity, but I'm not just like sitting like, oh man, I wish we could go back.
Yeah.
So it's more like looking forward to me than it is like looking back all the time.
Whenever I have a guest, I always try to have a contemporary ask a question, so I'm going to bring that out right now. M. Harris was on Vine around the same time as you. She ended up with about 400,000 followers for her singing as well, and she had this question to ask you.
It's M. Harris. I have 2 questions for you. The first one is, who was the very first Viner you ever followed? Second question is, how did you react when the news broke out that Vine was being discontinued? R.I.P. Thank you.
First people I followed were Waleed Muhammad, who I made the bet with, and then Casey James, who I was like friends with and like helping make videos. First people I followed outside of that group, I believe it was either Zane and Heath, King Batch, and Jason Nash. They must have been like back to back to back that I probably followed those 3. And then Jason ended up being the first person I collabed with. Heath ended up becoming my best friend, who I started TFIL with. And then Batch was like the most welcoming person ever. Like I used to drive up to LA just to like go up there and hang out with him, and he was like the chillest, nicest dude. And obviously he's gone on to be a mega star, and like he's not even close to his potential. So those are the people I remember the most. And it wasn't shocking to me when Vine died. Like it was happening. Anyone who has ever interviewed me about Vine knows like I hated the people that ran that platform. Like on a business perspective, I don't like hate them as humans, but like as people who are managing a platform, a $30 million plus business enterprise, they destroyed it. They literally just pulled out. It was dude, I saw that coming. So I was literally telling people like it's done. It's absolutely, that's why I jumped to Facebook. I jumped to Facebook well before like Vine was dying, and I used all my Vines to grow my audience on Facebook. And I saw it. Yeah. it's not whatever.
Coming up, you saw the future really well then, and in the future coming up now, we have not only the music video, but also the Shorty Awards that people can go vote for right now. So be sure to go ahead and vote for that. And then one last word to the people to go get out the vote, I guess.
Yeah, vote for TFIL so that way we can get the award we should have won 2 years ago. Shorties.
All right, guys. Well, hey, thanks so much, man. I appreciate you
no worries.
giving me a little bit of your time. And Send It Society, where can they get the merch?
SendItSociety.com.
There it is. All right, there it is.